Okay, so hi everyone, it's LockheartQT here today, and we've finally got an update from BioWare and EA themselves on Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which is the next installment in the Dragon Age series, so let's get right into the news here. So it's nothing too mind-blowing, but some of you may have already heard yesterday's news, but EA is reportedly prepared to launch Dragon Age Dreadwolf within the current financial year. This information comes directly to us from Eurogamer editor Tom Phillips. BioWare's upcoming RPG, obviously Dragon Age Dreadwolf, it's really anticipated by the Dragon Age fans because it's been 10 years nearly since Inquisition, is apparently among two undisclosed titles set for release by March 2025, as outlined in EA's recent financial report. And the direct quote from that is here and as follows. We have two unannounced titles in financial year 25, one partner title expected in Q4 and one owned IP title, stated EA in an earnings presentation. They also stated that we anticipate sharing more details on timing at a later stage. So if you don't know, the financial or physical year, as it's also called, is usually April to April. Some countries do it March to March or May to May, but it is usually April to April. So for example, the financial year that we're currently in started last month, which is April 2024 to April 2025, if that makes it any easier for you. And around this time, companies, big companies such as maybe Microsoft, Sony, EA, Nintendo, Ubisoft, etc., usually give investors vague updates on their projects and vague release windows and statements about their upcoming projects. Say for example, Nintendo stated recently that in their financial report that they're going to announce the Nintendo Switch 2 or their next home console in this financial year. So it's mainly vague statements like that. And as you probably are already aware, BioWare had previously announced intentions to fully unveil Dragon Age Dreadwolf during the summer, marking the culmination of years of development and almost a decade since the release of Dragon Age Inquisition. That is absolutely bonkers to think about, that it's been 10 years since Dragon Age Inquisition, and then by the time the next Mass Effect game comes out, it will probably be 10, 12 or 13 years since the release of Andromeda with the next game launching. So both, games have just taken a long time to make, and that's just absolutely bonkers to think about. And as you well know, in December 2022, BioWare released an in-game cinematic from Dragon Age Dreadwolf, providing a glimpse into the upcoming game. The cinematic revolves around Solus, a prominent character from the Dragon Age series, as well as Inquisition, who is indeed the Dreadwolf, and features narration by Varric, another beloved character in the series. And then during Dragon Age Day last year, which doesn't seem too far away but does at the same time, they actually released in-game, it wasn't gameplay, but it was more just environments and graphics with voiceovers from different characters we're probably going to meet in the game. I did a whole video on that trailer from Dragon Age Day if you want to go watch that. I did a whole breakdown of it, so I really recommend going watching that there. And EA and BioWare are sort of pinning all of their hopes on Dragon Age Dreadwolf to reverse their fortunes following the less than ideal receptions of 2019's Anthem, which was a live service which failed. If you have no idea what Anthem was, I also did a video covering Anthem, really recommend watching that, where it's effectively a Destiny clone that just ultimately failed it was dead upon arrival, to be honest. And it was really frustrating because Anthem has some really unique lore and mechanics that I think would have made it a great series. EA and BioWare also had less than ideal receptions for Mass Effect Andromeda, which were released in 2017, and due to all of these I guess less than ideal launches and the fact that BioWare have essentially been MIA for quite a while now, their last technical release was with the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which was in 2021, and in 2020 obviously they re-announced Dragon Age Dreadwolf as well as the next Mass Effect game. Both still haven't launched, both still don't have release dates, and BioWare underwent significant layoffs both in 2022 and then more so in 2023. They were hit hard in 2023, again we covered that on the channel, and with the next Mass Effect game installment still in pre-production, which basically means they haven't really started too much yet, then additionally this is going to be BioWare's last chance for a lot of people, which is really hard to grasp the idea of. If you haven't heard, recently Microsoft shut down a load of studios, including Tango Gameworks to name one of them, as well as I believe it was the developers of Redfall as well that were affected, where they just pretty much shut down the entire studio. And there was huge drama with some of the higher ups from more the Redfall developers that they went on about, went against Microsoft essentially. And it's really scary to know that if AAA games, like big budget AAA games, don't do well, it could potentially cause in a studio to be completely shut down. Now again, I don't want to, cause any drama or spread any rumours or anything like that, but I will say this, and I've said this quite a few times on the channel within the past couple of years, BioWare are in trouble. I don't want them to be in trouble. If it were up to me, BioWare would be, back in the glory days of Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, where they're one of the best, critically held developers of all time. And unfortunately, Mass Effect Andromeda getting absolutely nuked at launch with, technical issues, bugs and memes with the facial animations and everything like that, as well as the fact that, in my opinion, the game had a bit of an underwhelming story compared to Mass Effect 2 and 3 and 1. And then Anthem, obviously, I've got to be honest, I don't even know if Anthem servers are still live. The last time I checked they were, but that was last year, so honestly I don't know if Anthem is still up and running, but I know at some point EA are shutting it down quite imminently, so if it is still up and running, if you want to check out Anthem, I would check it out now. But in terms of Dragon Age, just going back to Dragon Age really quickly, if you had to ask me, based on, the comments made by EA and BioWare, I think that the game is going to launch in either Q4 or Q1 of 2025, meaning basically anywhere from October onwards. So October, November, December, January, February, March. I don't know why that was so hard to say, but I think it will either launch in November, December or March. I think that will be sort of the 3 months to look out for. But again, we're going to have to wait and see from what BioWare reveal in the summer. I reckon this big reveal event they're going to have is going to be either a part of like the Summer Games Fest or another company's showcase, or they're going to do their own thing, maybe like an EA Play or something like that, where they maybe just have, I'm not going to lie, the idea or the dream really is to have like a 15-minute to an hour just Dragon Age Direct, so to speak, where it would just be a live stream with maybe the developers talking, the higher-ups at BioWare talking, maybe about, the gameplay, the characters, the story, and then maybe afterwards, after the marketing for Dragon Age Dreadwolf, we then get back into Mass Effect, which I know is a lot of people, especially on this channel, really want to know. But at the end of the day, a lot of assets and team members will be ported over to the Mass Effect team, the Mass Effect project. So unfortunately, we are going to have to wait and see what happens with Dragon Age Dreadwolf. I'm not really a big Dragon Age fan. I've only actually played Origins, to be honest. So at some point, I will be checking out Inquisition and uploading that to the channel if you guys are interested in that. And tell me your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this news? Do you think Dragon Age Dreadwolf will indeed release on schedule? Do you think it might be delayed? Or what do you think is going to happen there? But personally, if you ask me, I think it's going to be November or December of this year. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching, and for more information from EA, BioWare, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and more in the gaming space, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.